Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a place where you feel stuck? Like no matter how hard you try, nothing seems to work. Bills piling up, dreams slipping away, and you're sitting there thinking, maybe this ain't for me. I know that feeling. I've lived that feeling. But you know what I learned? That breakdown wasn't a punishment, it was my preparation. That delay, it wasn't a no, it was a not yet. If you've ever been there, then this right here is for you. Because today, we're going to talk about trusting your process, even when it doesn't make sense. Life has a funny way of teaching us lessons, and one of the most important ones is that success is never straight lined. I know we all love those inspiring stories where someone went from zero to hero overnight, but let me tell you, that's not real life. Real life is messy, is full of unexpected twists, turns, and even complete detours. And here's the thing, it's supposed to be that way. That's how the process works. Think about it like driving on a long road trip. You've got your destination set, and maybe you think it's going to be smooth sailing all the way. But then, boom, there's road construction. You hit traffic. Maybe your GPS goes crazy and sends you in the wrong direction. Frustrating, right? But here's the deal. If you just keep driving and follow the signs, eventually you'll get where you're supposed to be. That's how life works too. The problem is, most people want to turn around the second they hit a bump. They think, this ain't for me. It's too hard. Maybe I'm not meant to do this. But what if that bump was actually a test to see how bad you want it? What if that delay was life's way of redirecting you to something even better? You see, every twist and turn in your journey has a purpose. Even the failures are part of the process. Now, I know nobody likes to talk about failure. It's uncomfortable, embarrassing even. But let me tell you something. Failure is one of the best teachers you'll ever have. When you fail, you learn what doesn't work. You build resilience. You develop character. And that's the stuff success is built on. No great success story exists without a few failures along the way. Let me share a quick example. Have you ever seen bamboo grow? For the first few years, you don't see anything. It looks like nothing is happening. But underground, that bamboo is building a massive root system. Then one day, it shoots up so fast, you can barely believe it. That's what happens when you trust your process. You might not see immediate results, but if you stay consistent and keep watering your dream, one day you're going to have that breakthrough moment. One day you're going to have that breakthrough moment. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. There will be times when you feel like quitting, times when it feels like everyone else is winning while you're stuck in the same place. But that's when you've got to remind yourself that your path is unique. It's not supposed to look like anybody else's. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel. You're not late, you're just on a different timeline. The truth is, success doesn't come to the smartest person or the luckiest person. It comes to the person who shows up every day, trusts the process, and refuses to quit, even when things get tough. So when you hit that next bump in the road, don't give up. Don't turn around. Keep driving. Because I promise you, what's waiting for you on the other side is worth every single twist and turn. Trust your process. It's taking you exactly where you need to go. One of the biggest mistakes you can make in life is comparing your journey to someone else's. We live in a world where social media constantly shows us everyone's highlight reels, their wins, successes, and perfectly curated moments. It's easy to get caught up in that and start thinking, why am I not there yet, or what's wrong with me? But here's the truth. Comparison is a confidence killer. And if you want to trust your process, you've got to learn how to stay in your own lane. Think about a marathon. Runners don't waste time looking at the person next to them. If they do, they slow down, lose focus, and risk tripping up. They know their only job is to focus on their own pace and finish their own race. Life is the same way. The second you start looking at someone else's journey, you lose sight of your own progress. You start doubting yourself, thinking you're not good enough or fast enough. And that doubt, it's poison to your growth. What you don't see behind those picture-perfect moments is the process those people went through to get there. You don't see the late nights, the failures, the sacrifices, or the moments when they felt like giving up. Everybody has a process, but nobody's broadcasting their struggles. So stop comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reels. Their success doesn't take away from yours. In fact, their success should be proof that it's possible for you too. Here's another thing to remember. Your path is uniquely yours for a reason. Maybe you're being prepared for something bigger than you can imagine. Maybe the lessons you're learning right now are building a foundation that will support massive success later on. But if you're too busy looking at someone else's life, you'll miss those lessons. You'll miss the opportunity to grow and develop into the person you need to be to handle your own success. It's also important to recognize that timing is different for everyone. Just because someone got their breakthrough at 25 doesn't mean you're behind if you're 35 or even 45. Life isn't a race, it's a journey, and everyone's path unfolds at the right time. You've got to trust that your time is coming, even if it doesn't look like it right now. Comparing yourself to others only breeds impatience and makes you forget how far you've already come. The next time you catch yourself thinking, why am I not where they are? I want you to stop and flip that thought. Ask yourself instead, what am I learning on my journey that will make me stronger? Focus on your growth, your wins, no matter how small they seem, and keep showing up. Remember, there's room for everyone at the top. Someone else's success doesn't mean there's less for you. It just means you got to stay patient and keep pushing. Trust your process and protect your confidence by staying focused on your path. The only person you need to compete with is who you were yesterday. Keep your eyes on your lane, run your race, and watch how everything starts falling into place when the time is right. In life, we all want things to happen quickly. We live in a world that's all about instant results, instant messages, instant food, and instant success stories flashing across our screens. But real success doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes you have to wait, and that waiting can feel like the most frustrating part of the journey. But here's the truth. Delays aren't denials. They're often just life's way of making sure you're fully prepared for what's coming next. That's why it's so important to embrace the delays and trust the process. When things aren't moving as fast as you want, it's easy to feel like you're stuck or like you're doing something wrong. But think about planting a seed. After you put it in the soil, you don't see anything right away. Days, even weeks can pass, and it looks like nothing is happening. But underneath the surface, that seed is breaking open, growing roots, and preparing to sprout. Without that hidden growth, the plant wouldn't survive when it finally breaks through the ground. That's exactly what's happening in your life during those moments of waiting. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean growth isn't happening. Sometimes those delays are actually blessings in disguise. Imagine getting what you wanted before you were ready for it. Would you be able to handle it? Probably not. That waiting period is where you gain the skills, the resilience, and the experience you'll need to manage the success that's coming your way. It's like preparing for a big performance. You don't just walk on stage without rehearsing. You practice. You make mistakes. you learn, and then when the time is right, you step into the spotlight fully prepared. Here's another thing. Delays often teach you patience, and patience is one of the most underrated keys to success. When you learn to be patient, you develop a level of mental toughness that sets you apart. You stop getting discouraged by temporary setbacks because you understand that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. That mindset shift is powerful. It keeps you grounded and focused on the long game instead of getting caught up in immediate results. I know it's not easy to wait. There will be times when you feel like giving up, when doubt creeps in, and you start questioning whether your dreams are even possible. But that's when you need to remind yourself that every successful person you admire had their own period of waiting. They had moments when it seemed like nothing was happening, but they didn't quit. They embraced the delays, learned from them, and kept moving forward. The key is to stay productive during the waiting period. Keep learning, keep building your skills, and keep showing up. Use that time to prepare yourself so that when your opportunity finally arrives, you're ready to grab it with both hands. Remember, life's delays aren't there to stop you, they're there to shape you. So the next time you're feeling impatient or frustrated, take a deep breath and remind yourself, your breakthrough is on the way. Keep trusting the process and embracing the delays. They're leading you exactly where you need to be. We live in a world that celebrates big wins and overnight success stories. We see people getting massive promotions, landing dream deals, or hitting huge milestones seemingly out of nowhere. But what nobody talks about are the small, consistent steps that led to those big wins, those tiny efforts that don't seem impressive in the moment, but add up over time. That's the real secret to success. Small steps matter. Every single one counts, even when it doesn't feel like it. The problem is most people want instant results. If they don't see immediate success, they get frustrated and quit. But here's the thing, success is a cumulative game. It's like filling a jar with drops of water. At first, it doesn't look like anything is happening, but if you keep adding drop after drop, eventually that jar will overflow. The same is true for your goals and dreams. You may not see the results right away, but every small step you take is getting you closer to where you want to be. Think about learning a skill, like playing an instrument. On the first day, you're clumsy, hitting wrong notes, and questioning why you even started. But if you practice for 10 minutes every day, guess what happens over time? You get better. Your fingers move more naturally, and one day, without even realizing it, you're playing entire songs effortlessly. That transformation didn't happen overnight. It happened because you showed up every day, even when it felt pointless. The same principle applies to fitness. Imagine someone who wants to get in shape. They work out for a week, check the mirror, and see no difference. Frustrated, they think it's not working and give up. But if they had kept going, even just doing 20 minutes a day, by the end of the month, they would have seen changes. The key is consistency. Small efforts repeated over time create big results. But here's where most people mess up. They underestimate the power of those small steps. They think, what's the point of writing one page today? It won't make a difference. Or, why bother making one sales call? It's not going to change my numbers. But those pages add up to a book. Those calls add up to a successful business. Small steps are like planting seeds. If you keep watering them, they'll grow into something beautiful. Another thing to remember is that small steps build momentum. When you take action, even if it's tiny, you create energy. That energy fuels your motivation to keep going. Suddenly, what felt overwhelming becomes manageable. You gain confidence with every step, and before you know it, you're tackling challenges that once seemed impossible. So stop waiting for the perfect moment or the big breakthrough. Start with what you can do today, no matter how small it seems. Write that paragraph, make that call, learn that skill, take that walk. Just do something. And then do it again tomorrow and the next day. Because those small steps will lead you to places you never thought possible. Success isn't about giant leaps. It's about showing up every day and trusting that those tiny, consistent efforts will take you exactly where you're meant to be. One of the most important lessons you'll ever learn in life is that mistakes are not the end of the world. In fact, they are often the best teachers you will ever have. But too many people are afraid to make mistakes. They think messing up means they failed or that they're not good enough. Let me tell you something. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every great achievement comes with a trail of mistakes and lessons learned along the way. Think about a baby learning to walk. They don't get up on their feet one day and just start running. They stumble, they fall, and they might even cry a little. But do they give up? Absolutely not. They get back up and try again until they master it. That's exactly how growth works. You can't avoid the falls. You just have to be willing to get back up every time. The truth is, mistakes are valuable because they teach you what doesn't work. Every time you fail, you gain information that helps you improve. You learn to adjust your strategy, rethink your approach, and try again with more wisdom. Successful people aren't those who never made mistakes. They're the ones who learned from them and kept moving forward. History is filled with stories of people who turned their mistakes into breakthroughs. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that won't work." Imagine if he had given up after his first few attempts. The world might be a very different place today. The same goes for countless inventors, entrepreneurs, and creators who face setbacks but refuse to let those mistakes define them. One of the biggest benefits of embracing your mistakes is the confidence it builds. When you face challenges, mess up, and recover, you become more resilient. You stop fearing failure because you've proven to yourself that you can bounce back. That kind of mental toughness is priceless. It gives you the courage to take risks and go after bigger dreams because you know you can handle whatever comes your way. But here's the key. Learning from mistakes requires the right mindset. If you dwell on your failures and beat yourself up, you miss the lesson. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? Shifting your focus from blame to growth changes everything. It turns setbacks into stepping stones. I won't sugarcoat it. Mistakes can be painful. They can hurt your pride, set you back, and even make you question your path. But that pain is temporary. The lessons you gain from those experiences are what will carry you forward. So don't be afraid to take action. Even if you're not sure it's perfect, don't hold back because you're worried about messing up. Remember, mistakes are proof that you're trying, learning, and growing. They're part of the process, and the only real failure is giving up. So embrace them, learn from them, and use them as fuel to keep pushing forward. Trust your process because every mistake is just another step closer to success. The journey towards success is never a straight, easy path. It's filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments where you'll want to throw in the towel. But the only way you truly fail is if you quit. Perseverance is the difference between people who achieve their goals and those who don't. It's about showing up, pushing through the tough times, and never giving up no matter how hard things get. Life will test you. It's inevitable. There will be times when it feels like everything is working against you. Maybe your business isn't taking off as planned, your job search is hitting dead ends, or your personal goals feel out of reach. In those moments, it's easy to think, maybe this just isn't for me. But here's the thing, success isn't reserved for the smartest or the most talented. It belongs to those who refuse to quit, those who keep pushing even when the odds are stacked against them. Think of any successful person you admire. Behind every achievement is a story of perseverance. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first TV job and told she wasn't fit for television. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Walt Disney was fired for lacking creativity. Imagine if they had quit after those setbacks. The world would have missed out on their brilliance. They didn't let rejection define them. They used it as fuel to keep going. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting immediate results. When they don't see success right away, they think their efforts are pointless. But success is often about staying in the game longer than others are willing to. It's about having the patience and resilience to keep working, even when you can't see the finish line. Remember, the most beautiful things in life take time to grow. A tree doesn't bear fruit the day you plant it. You have to nurture it, water it, and give it time to flourish. Perseverance isn't just about pushing forward blindly. It's also about learning from your experiences and adapting along the way. Sometimes things won't go according to plan. That doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It just means you need to adjust your approach. Flexibility and perseverance go hand in hand. When one door closes, look for another one to open. When a strategy fails, try a different one. The key is to keep moving forward. Another important aspect of perseverance is believing in yourself, even when others don't. People may doubt you, criticize you, or tell you to give up, but their opinions don't define your future. You do. Your belief in your own potential is what will carry you through the darkest times. Hold on to that belief, even when the world gives you reasons to doubt. And don't forget to celebrate your small victories along the way. Every step forward is progress, no matter how small. Those little wins build momentum and keep your spirit alive. So when life knocks you down, get back up. When the path gets tough, keep walking. Perseverance turns dreams into reality. Trust your process, stay committed, and never give up. Because the moment you decide to quit could be just before your breakthrough.